Hey folks, and welcome back for another video. And today I'm going to count down my top 5 DE razor blades, and this has changed over the past couple of years. This is a video I get a lot of requests for, and before I get into the list, I want to explain to you my use case for blades, which could be different from yours. So this is something to consider while watching this video. The first thing that I'm concerned about in a blade is smoothness. I want the blade to feel smooth. I want to enjoy a clean and comfortable shape. That is the primary thing for me when I'm evaluating a blade. I want it to be smooth. Number 2, I want it to be versatile. That is to say, I can take it out of my razor today, put it in another one tomorrow, and I don't have to worry too much about it not working well. Some blades aren't very versatile. They only work well in certain razors. Other blades can be fairly versatile and sort of work over a wide range of razors, and I look for that versatility in blades because I don't like pairing particular blades with razors. 3, sharpness. It's got to be sharp. I mean, that goes without saying. Now, that said, most blades are pretty doggone sharp, to be honest with you. I think there's more of an issue with smoothness and finish of the blade than there is sharpness, but that's just my opinion. And finally, cost. I don't like spending a ton of money on something I'm going to throw in the trash after 3 shaves or 4 at the max. So those are sort of the things that I look at when I'm evaluating my blades. So with that understanding, which could be different from yours, keep in mind you could want sharpness number 1, cost might not even be a factor, etc. So please keep that in mind. So without further ado, let's get to the list, starting with number 5. And this will surprise some people. Coming in at number 5, feather. At one time, this was my favorite blade, but after using it, I found that it wasn't the most versatile of blades. It tends to work better in some razors than others, and that's kind of a knock for me. Also, it can be a little rough sometimes on the first shave. Not often, but every now and then I get one that's a little rough on that first shave. It is very sharp, so if you're looking for sharpness, this is a great blade to go with. The other knock on this blade is it's expensive. Sometimes it's 2 and 3 times expensive as some of the other blades. So for me, feather comes in at number 5. It is a fine blade, but for me, it's just not at the top of my list, although it is a good blade. Number 4, pole silver. This is a sharp blade, perhaps not as sharp as the feather, but still sharp, and I find it to be a little more versatile than the feather. It's smooth for me. It does a great job, and therefore it comes in number 4. A little bit cheaper than the feather too. Number 3, this is actually a tie between personas, and I'll show you the personas I'm speaking of. This one here, I believe, is commonly referred to as the Persona Lab. Good price on these, usually around 10-ish or 11 bucks for 100. I find it to be versatile, smooth shaver, not the sharpest, but sharp enough. Also, Persona Reds, it's just a good quality blade, and it's, to me, it's similar to the Labs. They're not dead ringers for one another, but in terms of that smoothness and versatility, I find it to be similar. And also this guy, which is actually not a Persona branded blade. This is Crystal, but it's known as the Israeli Persona. Why? I don't really know, but this is known as an Israeli Persona. Good price on it, good all-around versatile blade, sharp enough, no issues with that. My number 3 choices, the Personas, keeping in mind that this one is actually Crystal, but commonly referred to as Israeli Persona. Coming in at number 2, Gillette Silver Blue. This is a fantastic blade. It is sharp, it is smooth, and pretty much the only knock on this is it's a bit more expensive than, say, the Personas or my next choice. The only knock on this blade for me is price. It's not as expensive as feather, but it's not the cheapest of blades. This is a really strong, versatile, smooth blade for me. And my number 1 choice, which may come as a surprise to some folks and maybe not others, Astra Sp. After several years of using these guys a lot, I've come to the conclusion that I can use this blade in just about any razor. It doesn't matter which razor I pick. It works well for me, and they are consistent. Every Astra Sp that I pull out is just like the last, so there's no variation, or I haven't experienced any. I've used hundreds of these probably. They are very good. They are inexpensive. In fact, I just ordered 400 I don't know, a few weeks back for $37. So less than $10 for 100. Smooth, sharp enough, inexpensive, and versatile. I mean, for me, this is as good as it gets. Admittedly, it is not sharp, not as sharp probably as this guy, and perhaps not sharp as this guy. But for the price and the fact that I can just pick it up and use it in anything, this is my blade of choice. Now, if I had to pick two, it would be these two, Gillette Silver Blue and Astra. But I got to tell you, Astra is hard to beat. It's an excellent razor. I enjoy it very much. With that said, what the heck, let's throw out a few tags here. We've been doing that recently. So I want to tag Evan Rogers. Evan Rogers, what are your top five choices in blades, and what is your use case? That's important to know. I'm going to tag, let's see, who's a good person to tag? Marty Pape. Haven't heard from Marty for a while. Marty, what's your top 5 blades, and explain your use case. And finally, I want to tag Erica. Can't remember her name off the top of my head. I apologize, Erica, but I will tag you in the Facebook group so you will know, and I apologize for not remembering your last name. I think it starts with an S, but I want to hear what your blades of choice are. So thank you guys as always for watching, and as always, we remind you, please keep them up and keep them open.